As we look at the boards today, Saturday, January 10, 2026, the market is currently closed, but Nvidia stock finished its last active session on Friday, January 9th, at $184.86, showing a slight downward tick of 0.09% during the day. This price action comes in the middle of a week where volatility has been the name of the game, with the stock swinging between an intraday high of $186.34 and a low of $183.67. While most people are staring at those tiny red and green flickering numbers on a Robinhood app or checking their individual brokerage account to see how their portfolio is weathering the storm, they are missing the massive shift happening beneath the surface. The common expectation right now is that Blackwell hardware cycle is the only thing that matters, but the reality is far more complex. We are seeing a shift where raw compute power is no longer the sole king, and the logic of hardware efficiency is starting to challenge the old guard. Just this week, we saw reports out of Asia about new training methods that claim to achieve massive intelligence leaps with a fraction of the hardware usually required. That creates a massive tension for anyone involved in online investing, because if you can get more out of less, does that mean the endless hunger for chips will eventually slow down? Looking at the broader landscape of Nvidia stock, the market sentiment is a strange mix of absolute worship and growing anxiety. If you open up SoFi Invest or look at your Schwab Intelligent Portfolios, you will see Nvidia sitting there as a top holding, almost by default. It has become the bedrock of the modern portfolio. However, the recent price movement tells a story of a stock that is struggling to find its next gear after a monumental run. We saw the price hit a 52-week high of $212.19 not too long ago, and since then, it has been searching for a reason to break back through that resistance. Institutional activity has been particularly telling. Large blocks of shares are moving, but the volume on Friday of about 131 million shares was slightly below the recent averages we saw in late 2025. This suggests that the big players are waiting for the next catalyst, likely the upcoming earnings call or more concrete data on the Rubin platform. For those using a Fidelity trading platform or managing their own self-investing strategy, this period of sideways movement is where the real stress happens. You are caught between the buy the dip mentality and the fear that maybe the peak has already passed. The tension between expectation and reality is most visible when you look at the recent analyst updates. While the stock was churning around that $184 mark, we had major firms like Mizuho and Stifel actually raising their price targets to the $250 and $275 range. They are looking at a projected 32% increase in hyperscaler capital expenditures for 2026, totaling over $540 billion. That is a staggering amount of capital flowing into data centers. The expectation is that Nvidia will capture the lion's share of that, but the competition is getting smarter, not just bigger. Companies are looking at interactive brokers' fees and execution costs to maximize every cent, and they are doing the same with their hardware. They want to know if they can run these massive models on smaller, more efficient clusters. This is why Nvidia is pushing so hard into networking and software services. They know that selling a chip is a one-time transaction, but owning the fabric that connects those chips is a permanent seat at the table. If you are currently holding on to shares, I want to hear from you. Comment below how many shares of Nvidia stock you currently hold in your portfolio and what your average cost basis is. It is always interesting to see where the community stands, especially when we are at these technical crossroads. Are you still buying at these levels through your Fidelity brokerage, or have you started to trim your position to lock in some of those gains from last year? The daily swings we have seen recently are also tied to the geopolitical climate. There's a lot of talk about export controls and how they might affect the bottom line. The reality is that Nvidia has become so big that it's almost its own economy. Their profit margins are sitting at a record 53%, which is unheard of for a hardware company of this scale. In their last report, they posted a record revenue of $57 billion for the quarter, which was a 62% jump from the previous year. Most of that came from the data center segment, which brought in $51.2 billion on its own. When you look at those numbers on your Fidelity mobile app or through a SoFi active investing account, it's hard not to be impressed. But the market doesn't trade on what happened yesterday, it trades on what will happen tomorrow. The expectation was that they would just keep growing at that 60% rate forever, but the reality is the law of large numbers is starting to kick in. Growth is still there, but the pace is naturally going to settle as the market matures. Let's talk about what this company actually does for a second, beyond the stock ticker. Most people know them as the GPU company, but they've morphed into a full-stack computing entity. They design the hardware, the software, the networking, and the communication protocols that allow thousands of chips to work as a single giant brain. Their business model has shifted from selling components to building AI factories. This is a key distinction. When a company like Meta or Microsoft decides to build a new cluster, they aren't just buying chips, they are buying an entire ecosystem. This is why their position is so defended. If you try to switch to a competitor's chip, you have to rewrite your entire software stack. That is a massive barrier to entry. For someone looking for investment help or using a SoFi robo-advisor, these are the fundamental strengths that provide a safety net, even when the stock price is being volatile. Older reports from early 2025 showed some concern about a chip glut or a slowdown in demand, but those fears were largely proven wrong. The reality was that demand was just shifting. We moved from the initial rush to buy anything that could run a model to a more calculated approach where companies are looking for specific performance metrics. This is why the Blackwell launch was so important. It offered 10 times the throughput per megawatt compared to the previous generation. In a world where electricity costs and data center cooling are the biggest constraints, that kind of efficiency is worth more than raw speed. It's also why many people using Fidelity Wealth Management or other high-end advisory services are still being told to stay the course. The fundamental shift in how we process information has not finished yet. Looking at the technical indicators on the Interactive Brokers platform, we can see a bit of a bearish engulfing pattern on the monthly charts, which usually suggests that some profit-taking is in order. The stock has had a historic run, and it is only natural for it to breathe. We have a major support zone sitting around the $178 level. If it breaks below that, we could see a slide towards the $160 range where the long-term moving average is set. However, if it holds, it could be the foundation for the next push towards $200. This is the kind of detail that matters when you are involved in online investing. You have to be able to separate the noise of the daily price action from the long-term structural trends. Many retail investors on the Robinhood app tend to panic when they see a 2% drop, but the institutional players often see that as a chance to add to their positions at a better price. The future outlook for Nvidia stock is inextricably linked to the Rubin platform, which is slated for the second half of 2026. This is the successor to Blackwell, and the expectations are already sky high. The market is expecting another massive leap in efficiency. If Nvidia delivers, the reality will once again exceed expectations, and we could see the stock valuation reach even more historic levels. There is also the potential for a larger dividend or more aggressive share buybacks. In the first 9 months of the 2026 fiscal year, they already returned $37 billion to shareholders. That is a massive amount of cash being funneled back to investors. Whether you are using Fidelity ETFs ETFs, Fidelity mutual funds, or holding the individual brokerage shares, that return of capital is a strong signal of management's confidence in the future. We also have to consider the rising cost of memory and the complexities of the global supply chain. Nvidia does not actually manufacture its own chips, it designs them and then has them made by TSMC. Any tension in the Pacific or any issues with chip-making equipment can send shockwaves through the stock price. This is why the news of Blackwell wafers being produced on U.S. soil at the Arizona facility was such a big deal. It reduces the tail risk of a total supply chain collapse. For those who invest online, these macro factors are often more important than the actual specs of the chips. You are betting on the stability of the global tech economy just as much as you are betting on Jensen Huang's vision. If you are looking at your Fidelity IRAs or planning for the long term, the key is to look at the inference side of the business. Training a model takes a lot of power once, but running that model for millions of users